Death Watch.
All right, so you guys travel. It's pretty peaceful actually, and it's a bit warm, especially for winter still. But overall, very peaceful travel. You don't see anybody on. There's no real roadway, but you don't see anybody else traveling in between Mayene and the Stedding. It looks pretty deserted around here until you get close to Mayene, and that's when you're able to start to hear the sounds and see some sight of human civilization.
Outlying farms.
Yeah, as they slowly start to crop up as you're coming in, and when you start to see those, you start to see. Starts as a very worn path, and then a rutted dirt road, and then as you get closer in, it starts to become cobblestone and paved, so that bringing in those harvests is a bit easier. But that lets you know that you're getting overall closer. All right, so you guys start to see the farms and the road conditions start to improve the closer that you get. Rafe, you know that technically everything around here is owned by Tyr, according to them. But right across the bay is a bigger city, is Godan. That's other than Tyr, is the largest city in Tyr, is to control Mayene. But so, as you guys come in, as they have coastal walls that are reinforced from the which one is that? The Sea of Storms, because of all the heavy storms. So they have reinforced walls there. It is walled from the entrance that you guys come in as well from attacks from Terran lords who in the past have tried to take the area. But
take back the area.
Yeah, take back the area, according to Ray.
It's already yours, so you wouldn't be taking it back. You'd be enforcing the law, the rightful rule of the High Lords.
I'll make a Terran out of you yet.
It's pretty well laid out, though, and it's very easy to navigate in the city itself to get to the docks. When you guys get there, it is going to be coming on to evening, so you'll need to find an inn, and then but anybody that's been in a coastal city knows, and those docks are going 24 hours.
Yeah,
so you can also try and arrange passage if you like to.
At the night, nothing but riffraff, ne'er-do-wells, light-blinded. Anyway, I'll try to find a decent inn. Do I know? I know White Jaw doesn't have too many eyes and ears, but was I starting to kind of get brought into that, where maybe I might know some telltale signs for eyes and ears, or a place that might be safe or welcoming?
You didn't have a whole lot of time out with your Aes Sedai mentor to go over a lot of that, as pretty much you guys had went from Tarvalon to Camelin. But you do an intelligence, because there was a reason why you were staying at that inn, other than it's the first plot point.
Did you find us the required number of dreadlords and Murdril to forcefully turn us to the shadow?
Unfortunately, yes. I got a 10 on my intelligence.
Okay. Yeah, you don't know why she chose that inn. There were far nicer in the city that could have been obtained by someone of her status.
Okay.
All right. So what would you like to do first? Would you like to find the inn, or would you like to go to the docks?
Inn, I think, would probably be here for a night at least. Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, I got an itch.
Got to gamble.
Yeah.
So as you come in, was the Wing Guard the first personal, or was that just the army of Mayene?
I think they were like an elite group.
Okay, so there are city watch around. As you're coming in, they're checking people. Just make sure that you're not Terran. So when they do see Rafe, no, just fine.
I do be no Terran.
That's even worse. What are you doing? So I think they hate Elian more than they hate Mayene.
Sometimes a silver pike has to act the lionfish.
There you go. All right.
He wants to escape the net.
You're back in good graces.
Wait, that gave me away as Terran.
Get him. No, but
you do be.
They'll they're just checking, wagons, things like that, collecting anybody doing anything that they weren't supposed to while waiting to get in. But it goes fairly quick. You go through, and when you get up to them, they're open to any questions. But there's asking you to state your reason for the visit to Maine.
Seeking passage,
Okay.
and also we're looking for an inn place to stay for the night.
Okay. Well, he directs you to what's your clothing like?
They'd probably recognize it as Terran clothing.
Well, I mean, as far as quality.
But it would be what the commoners would wear.
Okay. And
So it's not fine clothes.
Folk, same.
Mine's probably shabbier than most. But
He's got a maple leaf.
oh, now that image is in my head.
What about yours, Adina?
Mine would be traveler clothes.
Nicer end or?
Well, they're traveler's clothes,
Okay.
but
Right.
I would like them to be nicer in.
Okay. So yeah, he'll take in the group as a whole, and taking you for Adina's manservant now, direct you to a couple inns that are a bit further away from the docks. Says you can find many great inns in this area. I would recommend the Sea Shoal, is that's a fine inn for the lady. As far as passage, and you'll find many captains down by the dock. Also, the more well-to-do merchants tend to stay at the nicer inns as well.
Can I guess maybe like sense motive, see if this guy has he's not all on the up and up.
No, yeah.
Right. See if I can find some good gambling. I don't know if it's illegal or anything here, but sense motive was 22.
Okay, yeah, I mean, from your travels, soldiers are typically the type to partake in gambling as a more of a whisper, or well, not a whisper, just lowers his voice so that you can only hear. So he directs you to go to the dwarf rat closest to the docks. Says you'll find what you're looking for there.
All right.
And then this allows you entrance to the city.
So first to the inn we'll be staying.
Okay, I'm going to be starting to get a little bit excited. I've never seen the ocean before, so this is the wild wind adventure that.
You never have?
I've never seen the ocean.
That's
before.
what we'll do after we go to the inn.
As,
Man's not truly a man unless he stands on the coast of the ocean. Sea of storms too. Best ocean there is, maybe.
And then
Unless there's one in Tyr that's better.
and then just happens to wander into the wharf rat.
Right. What? No. Of course not. He's no gambler. You heard him say it yourself.
I wonder. Seems like he's gambling enough already.
So the city itself is quite alive, and just not as busy as Camelin was, but for the size of it is still pretty full. You have the hawkers on the street as you walk by. They're still trying to sell the last wares of the day. People that are finished with their various tasks for the day who are starting to gather in front of inns and taverns. You have the merchants that are fresh in from the sea.
Well, I'll buy any of us something from these vendors, something like a seaside town that he likely wouldn't get up in Andor, like the fish and chips equivalent. Yeah,
they'll have like oysters, scallops, things like that. The variety of fish.
Eat a bunch of these, and then I'll take you down on the wharf. Right, you'll be good to go.
What? I'm good to go to the wharf right now. I want to see the ocean.
These give you vigor and energy.
I'm not that tired. I can see the ocean tonight.
But really, if it's the more exotic and weird looking to a Midlander is probably what I would get just to see his reaction. So like the oysters and stuff.
Some squid. Yeah, definitely. And that's like the weirdest thing is gonna be the kind of like almost the calamari type. Yeah. So it's little baby squids that they fry up right in front of you and then expect you to eat.
So yeah, I'll order 3, I guess, and pass them around.
I'll try to eat it, but I'm not able to get it down. I rolled really badly on.
What did that set me back, John?
That's what I'm looking at right now here. This food.
Coppers or silver pennies.
Yeah, it's not going to be
15 gold crowns. Of course, I'm already committed, so I just have to... No way I could go back on buying something that would be unlike my character.
It's a coastal town.
Quite a good deal we're getting here.
The calamari's probably considered like junk food, like trash food, stuff that they don't really...
They sell to people.
Yeah, so 5 silver pennies, or sorry, 2 silver pennies is what you're going to spend per meal. As it's exactly what Chris was saying. It's pretty...
And I'll flip the vendor...
So is it just
penny?
The calamari, or is there some others like sides or something that goes with it?
There's a
dipping sauce or
anything? Like a very spicy, some very spicy like cabbage that they have in there too. So it offsets the oily, rubbery taste of the calamari or feel and taste of the calamari.
Is it Boners or however it's pronounced, that eat the like spicy meat and vegetables.
Yeah.
So I might get some of that. So spicy stuff might not get me. I'll try to get Rafe to eat some of the spicy stuff though.
Yeah. So I'll be giving him advice on like how to eat it.
The first time I just try and take down the tentacle by itself and I can't get it down. The second time when after he shows me,
no, eat some of the cabbage with it.
Okay, so I'll try and the second time I actually get it down.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you see people that are stopping by buying that stuff that are like, will take quite a few of a couple of the squids and just like pinch some cabbage between it, and it seems to be pretty common in the way of eating it. As you do see some of that where it's mainly sailors and foreigners that you can tell they're usually a couple guys egging on one guy to try and choke one of those down. Various levels of success on that. But as you continue on, you will make your way to the seashore. It's very easy to stand out, or very easy to spot because it stands out as one of the largest inns in Maine. Right, tons of people around it. As soon as you pull up, or as soon as you arrive with your horses, you drift into the stable. The stable master comes out. The stable hands immediately come out and offer to take your reins and offer you some assistance down. They call for some portable stairs that you can hop off onto. And
I'll go. Thank you. My man here will take care of.
My face goes dark with apoplexy.
And I'll just walk into the...
As Cho'Gath will dismount, flick the reins to the stable hand, and follow in after.
He flicks them to me too.
So you two out there, they're fully expecting now you guys to assist in stabling the horses.
Well, there was a stable hand, right?
Yeah, there's stable hands there.
she went inside, so I'll be like, could you take care of these for us? And I'll pay them out for the cost of the stabling.
Okay, yeah. As the stabling itself,
muttering under my breath.
I only have marks and gold pieces or gold crowns.
But you couldn't possibly deal with these sorts of transactions.
Oh, yeah, that's just. Don't worry, I'll pay you back.
5 silver pieces per day.
Per horse?
Yes.
We got 4, so 2.
So 2 marks a day.
Yeah, I'll put the 2 marks, and then how many stable hands are there?
There are 2 stable hands, and then the stable master.
And then silver penny each for the stable hands.
If you just want to mark down 2 marks, I'll pay for the rest.
Oh, I was tipping out the...
I know, but I'll pay for my horse and...
Oh, okay. And then a mark for the stable master.
Okay. Yeah, he nods his head, gives his thanks, and then he's off to the next person that pulls up.
That pulls up.
They have a carriage.
Okay.
So
they actually pull up.
They actually do pull up.
Because I envisioned we came skidding in like a Firebird, Def Leppard plane.
Well, with how spicy the cabbage was.
It's not that we pulled up in a Firebird, it's that our horse's armor looks like a Firebird.
You T-topped your horse's armor? How do you even do that?
Gotta feel the wind in my hair. Say ya!
Okay, so when you enter, you're greeted by the innkeep, who's a not super fat, but a very
just enough
large.
So I know I can trust
yes,
him.
a very large, a round man, not very tall though. Yeah,
because as we all know, thin innkeepers are dark friends.
Yes. So yeah, he greets you, welcomes you to the shoal, and asks if you'll be needing rooms for the night.
I will, good sir. One for myself and another for my men.
He gives you a bow and calls over some serving girls to take you up to the rooms. So he puts you in a suite. It very similar to what you had in Camelon's. Single room, has a wash stand. The bed, its own table. You guys are cramped into a single room.
All 3 of us?
Yeah.
Right. I'll go for it.
Unless you don't want to be. But it's thin, narrow beds. There's a wash basin still, but none of the real amenities that the suites in Camelon had. Right.
It's all right, Falk. We won't be spending much time here anyways. We got to go see the ocean.
Don't worry, I got a roof over my head, and
it's not like Cho'Gath is even here.
He takes up no space. How much does a soul weigh?
Nothing.
All right, so I'll pay for their room and my room. How much?
So it is going to be, for their room, it's 2 marks.
Okay.
And for your room is, where is it? I don't have the price of like a suite on here.
Well, if they're
as we'll say that it'll be 10 mark for your room.
So a crown.
Yeah.
All right.
As that does come with food and drink as well. If you would like to get really drunk, you're gonna have to pay some more, but as they give you a reasonable amount of drink with it.
I'm still not drinking.
But yeah, the horses are stabled. The rooms are showed to you. Your items are put away. So,
but Falk, the alcohol is different all across the continent. You have to try it in each place.
She's right. Yes.
I'm going to be suspicious of Rave because he's the reason I was, at least partially the reason.
I am absolutely not bluffing by wanting to walk you down to see the ocean, though.
Okay.
Full of oysters.
Yeah, as we go, I'm going to be keeping an eye out for, like touristy...
Tourist traps?
Well, no, like touristy trinkets that I could take home to my family.
Oh yeah, I mean you see all sorts of stuff,
like,
seashells, starfish,
like shark teeth, and things like that. So yeah, I'm gonna spend 2 months on
one of those fake horns we found in Camelin.
There's all sorts of things, little ships and bottles type stuff. Well,
nothing big that'll be cumbersome in our travels, but little things that my family will probably never see the ocean.
Okay, yeah.
I'll spend 2 marks on that.
It's okay. You'll probably never see your family again.
One dark.
That's a horrible thing to say.
So I don't really say that, but I will warn you about be careful about the street vendors here. Just like with Camelin, I'll treat you essentially like a kid, where I figure you don't know anything about the world.
That's fair.
So I'll say, don't buy anything odd. There is no pieces of Loghain here. Don't. The horn hasn't been found yet, and they won't sell it to you if they do.
You also notice, Rafe, you notice that there seem to be a few more than normal Othenmere in the city as well. Yeah, they still keep to themselves, but you notice the ships when you start. What are they called? The rakers. Yeah. When you get down towards the port down there.
So, are they comfortable enough in this city for the women to go topless?
No, that's only out in sea.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
but I will point them out to you incognito, so as not to offend, because they got that alluring walk that Jordan always describes.
Yeah.
That
swaying. Yeah.
Well, Dolman walks like that too.
So as long as we never end up on his ship, I won't have to question myself.
All right. So yeah, it's not as easy to find the wharf rat as it was the seashell, but after asking a few people at the docks, you're pointed out in the right direction there.
But first, we will go stand at the end of one of these piers or something and look out over the sea of storms with Falk. Sorry.
Yeah. I'll actually be kind of underwhelmed by it, and I'll just say it looks like a big lake with moving water.
Yeah, you can see the port, and if you look off to the south more, you'll see the actual ocean out there across some of the land. As you see where the land creates almost a U shape and then comes in a bit more. See, that part seems to be a bit more man-made.
Okay.
Where they've reinforced that port, but after some flat land that drops off to.
So is he actually commenting about like the inlet, or what would it be, like a sound?
Yeah.
Kind of like seeing the Puget Sound or something like that.
Yeah, you
need to put your arm around him and kind of like do the no, you're not seeing it right.
Yeah. Kind of like what I did when I went to the Oregon coast, where I was messing around in one of those little tiny inlets, and I was like, yeah, the ocean's not that impressive. And then the crabbers came along and said, oh no, the ocean's like 3 miles that way. And then when I got out there, I was like, oh crap.
Yeah, I don't think the full totality of the ocean is going to hit me until I'm actually out on the boat.
Yeah, and that's the same thing. Is you can see out a ways, but I mean it's just you've seen lakes before. I mean, this is a little bit rougher.
It looks like a bigger lake. Like there's no way of really getting the scope of it right now just from the dock. But yeah, in his mind, like it was something mind blowing and unthinkable, and you're sitting on a dock just like you would at a lake.
But yeah, that dock itself, I mean, it's hard to find a lot of free space for very long, right? Because it doesn't seem like that place ever stops.
Yeah.
But yeah, you notice the variety of ships flying all nationalities' flags that have any type of river sea access.
Bloody Ilianas.
I will be fascinated by the sea folk, though.
Yeah, they're the only ones that really seem to keep to themselves, right? Like they do. A few of them do get off the ship, but for the most part, they're all hanging out on the ship after unloading and reloading.
But yeah, better chance with one of the Tarvalan witches than the sea folk.
Do you think we could get to ride on one of those ships?
On the
on a sea folk ship? Yeah, that would be good. Yeah.
We could try. I don't know. They're said to have the fastest ships on the Aerith Ocean,
and that's exactly what we need.
Yes. Bloody right.
I won't ride in anything less.
Sea folk ship or nothing.
Do you want to go and try and engage any of the Othenmere yet?
No, I would be sightseeing with him, like trying to. If he seems underwhelmed, try to talk it up. If he's
waves as high as
yeah. If he's goggle-eyed, try to play it down. You haven't seen anything. That's nothing to be goggling at.
You guys are so after you're standing there for quite a while at the end of the port. What you would recognize is the dockmaster comes out and tells you, "You two louts, get off my dock unless you're working."
I won't cause any trouble. I head out. I'll just tell Falk and Tyr, you can stand on the docks as long as you want.
You can see the little they'd be like schooners are starting to come in, little fishing ships, and you can just imagine how much extra space is going to be taken up by all of these other little ships. But yeah, if you inquire a little bit, they'll any dockhand will point you with a sly smile and a wink. They know what you're up to. Down to the wharf rat.
Just got to make a quick stop, and then we can go on to whatever else. So to prestige our getting him drunk from the last time, we now have to get him drunk and a piercing.
That was, did anybody but the Othenmere have piercings?
I don't know. I just always assumed if it's a sea town, they have piercings. Yeah. I don't know why.
There's tattoos.
Yeah. Or either one, yeah.
There's also like earrings.
That's what I was
true.
Thinking.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna go
get him
plus 10 piercing.
Yeah,
you gotta get him drunk first. And the hawkers have stopped, but as far as a lot of the wares, finer wares, they're still. Those trinket shops are open all the time. It seems like, and the street vendors with their food.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll follow him and
lead us to some little seedy tavern.
Yeah, so there's a very obvious difference in the sea shoal to the wharf rat, and this is a very cramped. It's just like a building was shoved into the small space in between two other warehouses, right? Really cheerful, lots of laughing and joking back and forth. You can hear spilling out from inside. Some very poorly played music is coming from the inside as well. But yeah, if you did try to bring your horses, there's no stable hand that comes out. There's no stable.
No, I would have just been walking.
Okay. So yeah, that's one thing that you notice right away, because normally even smaller inns would have at least somewhere to put your horses. These guys don't. They're right up on the dock themselves. So they're mainly catering to deckhands. But there's a sign that hangs down of the biggest rat you've ever seen. What the wharf's rats general size, it's like 5 times the size of that. So that's its most dominating feature.
Giant wharf rat and a tiny person with a sword.
Yeah. So as you go in, like I said, very cheerful in there. The night's just getting started. Very obviously, mostly sailors. Serving women are already busy making the rounds, dodging pinches and rough men trying to pull them onto their laps. And a very, very stout woman is at the behind the bar barking out orders.
Well, I'll promptly go up and order the drinks. What will you take, Adina?
I'm back at the...
Oh, you stayed? All right.
Yeah, I'm not going to this dive.
So I know you're not drinking, so I'll take an ale and a wine for him.
All right. So the wine would be... Are you going to do a cup or a pitcher?
Pitcher.
Okay.
He's not drinking, so...
That's why he's having wine.
Yeah.
So pitcher 2 silver pieces.
Okay.
And you wanted an ale?
Yeah.
A mug is 4 copper.
Oh, nice.
A gallon is 2 silver pieces.
And a silver piece for the barking bartendress.
She gives you a wink and comments that if you weren't a Terran, maybe she'd let you try your luck. And slips it away.
Well, if you weren't a horse, maybe I'd like to try my luck. I do have a good eye for horses.
Let me see your teeth.
Thundering laughter.
All right, so I'll find a game.
Yeah, so there's various games going on. Some you've seen, some you've never seen before. But
now I know you're not a gambler. I respect that. Maybe a game of stones?
Game of stones sounds good.
All right, you just drink your wine and I'll drink my ale.
You should have gone with picking out one of the ones that you maybe didn't know about. And going like, there's no gambling with this one. This is a pure skill game right here. Winner every time if you know what you're doing. Tech.
But yeah, so there's games with 3 dices, 4 dices, and 6 dice.
Well, I mean, I'll start them on something that doesn't seem like gambling, so whatever that would be.
Okay. So the 6 dice, there seems to be a multiple. It's people taking multiple turns before money's being put in, right? The pots are typically bigger. They're still copper, but that one is the least like gambling because of how often the money changes hands, right?
Do you want to try it, Falk?
Well,
it's hardly gambling.
Why do they have to pay money for it?
That's just coppers.
Hardly money.
Hardly money. As you can see, nobody's losing their livelihood over there.
It's Mayene copper.
But if you don't, then we could do the stones. It's up to you.
So it's not gambling, but you have to pay to play it, right?
Yeah, it's like staying at an inn.
Okay.
Kind of
I could do that. And I'll fish out a couple of coppers and...
Okay, so yeah, they make way for you, and after watching for a bit, is what it seems the game seems to be is if anybody that rolls at least 3 pips on 3 dice gets to roll again, right? 3 and higher on 3 dice gets to roll again, and the goal of it is to roll 5 pips on 5 dice. And then you are able to take a portion of the pot. If you roll 6 on all 6, then you win the entire pot.
Yahtzee.
You want to roll some dice for me, Chris? Just give me a hand so I'm not rolling a...
Would you say 6 dice?
Yeah, so 6 dice. Alright, so how many hands do you guys want to play?
Just a couple.
Okay. So this will count for the first round. Just save your roll right there. Alright, Falk, you'll roll first.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll your 6.
I've got 2 5s, a 4, a 3, and 2 1s.
Okay. So the pot itself is up to about 30 copper right now.
Oh, what do we have to pay in?
You paid in 5 apiece, and you're given. I'm sorry, you had a 5, a 6, a 4, and a what?
No, I had 2 5s, a 4, a 3, and 2 1s.
All right, so you're given 7 copper back and you can roll again.
Okay, yeah. Roll all of them again?
Yep.
Got a 6, a 3, 3 2s, and a 1.
Okay, so at this point you're told to pay 3 copper, because you got to put 3 in there, and then it will move on to Rafe's turn.
Okay.
Starting to feel like a dark friend yet.
I'll be slightly confused as to why
like
they give me money back at first, and then when I pay it back, I'm like, oh, okay. I must have gotten change or something.
The literal first experience of any game.
So this is probably one of the most confusing games that they have going on here. But like I said, because of the pot itself never moving, it doesn't really play out as gambling, unless someone rolls those 6 pips. So
I got a 6, 2 5s, 3, 2 1.
Okay, so yeah, you're paid out a 7 as well. You got 2 5s, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you're paid out a 7 as well, and then you'll roll again.
3 5s, 2 3 1.
Can he Dark One's luck?
Yeah.
Like dice he doesn't want.
But I'm not quite sure on what's a good roll.
So 5s and 6s are going to be the best for
Multiples,
you, right?
So I probably keep this one then.
Yeah. So on that one, you're going to be paid out a total of 9 copper, and there's a couple extra people are coming over, and they'll join. They put in their copper into the pot as well, and then await their turn. So you'll roll again.
3 2s. I guess I'll Dark One Zone luck it.
Okay. Yeah, you need to have at least 3 3s to be able to roll again.
What I was asking was, could he Dark One's luck dice that
you don't want? Yeah.
Yeah, so that way he could have kept the 5.
Oh yeah,
or the 3 5s that he had.
That's all right. I don't remember what I have. I don't think I got anything here. 6 4 3 2 and 2 1s.
A 6 4 3.
6 4 3 2 and then 2 1s.
Okay, so you won't get any money. You won't have to put any in, but you'll need to roll. But you'll get the chance to roll again if you'd like.
6 5 2 4 2 3.
All right. So a 6 5 2 4s and 2 3s.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that one, people are grumbling a little bit. So you get 15 copper out of that, and then it's up to you when you're winning on those. If you do roll again, you can choose to pass if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll pass if the grumbling is happening.
So the next person rolls, and they had gotten a 5, a 6, a 3, 2 2s, and a 1. So they roll again, and then they don't get a roll again. So they hand over 5 copper for their next roll. All right, then
6 5 3 2 and 2 1.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna name the amount of copper for you guys at least, but yeah. So copper exchanges hands, and then go ahead and have them roll again.
5 2 4s 2 2 1s.
Okay. And then so some more copper exchanges hands. Go one more.
4 or 2 4s, 3 2, and then 2 1s.
Okay, so yeah, with that one, he didn't win anything, but he'll pass his turn on to Falk again.
Okay, I'll do one more round of these. 2 6s, 2 4s, a 2, and a 1.
Okay, so you'll get 9 copper.
Okay, and I'll roll again. 3 5s, a 2, a 1, and a 3.
All right, you'll receive 3 copper on that one. How many ones? I'm sorry.
1 1.
1 1. 4 copper on that one.
Okay. And at that point, I'm going to realize this is actually gambling. And I'll pass him to Rafe and step away from the game.
Okay. So do you want to continue at this game, or
I'll thank the people gathered around and ask Falk, like, what's the problem?
Like, this is gambling.
Hardly. Are you enjoying your wine?
Yeah. So when you step back from the little corner, more people will move in to take your spot. But yeah.
And how much was it for a pitcher of wine?
I already paid for it.
Yeah, it was what, 2 silver?
Are you looking to buy a second pitcher?
If you don't know wine will mess you up, I am doing a bluff on that.
Yeah, 2 silver.
So you could have the opportunity to look through it.
It's mold wine.
I'll actually buy a pitcher of wine for the gamblers and apologize for taking their money.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that makes them extremely happy. They're like, yeah, come back and play some more.
But yeah, I'm going to feel guilty because I won.
Light, Hulk, that's not the way. It's as fair as earning it through hard work.
That was not hard work.
The Light has abandoned some people.
Those men worked hard for that money.
All right. We'll have our drinks to play a game of stones. We'll see what happens from there.
All right.
Copper apiece.
There, depending on how many games you guys play, there are people who make wagers on your game.
On our game.
Yeah. So
I don't have a problem with that. So it's up with.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with other people gambling on what we're doing, but I would feel guilty if I took money from other people.
Yeah.
In fact,
Rafe, you noticed while you were throwing dice, the most money on that game seemed to really be making side bets.
Oh, on what people would roll.
Yeah, as like the people that are moving in and out of that game, they're moving from playing for a little bit and then making side bets.
Okay.
So the size of the pot really didn't seem to matter too much, right? As a lot of the grumbling comes from the people making the side bets.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
You can do that and play stones.
Yeah. Yes. Do they have anybody that comes around and
well, I mean,
tracks
it's
bets or anything like
fairly close to you guys right now. I mean, you could.
It's like, okay, make your move. Give me that.
As you're trying to, you're betting on the outcome of how many fours, fives, and sixes they're going to get in that. The closer you are to actually guessing right, the more you'll win, right? So if they rolled, 3 5s and you said 3 5s, you would win quite a bit. But if you're wrong, then you'll.
Well, at least for the first stones match, I will keep my full attention on that.
So roll a 1d20, each of you. Yeah. And add, would that be intelligence or wisdom? Yeah, intelligence to it.
15.
13.
Okay, so Falk takes the first match. There's money exchanges hands on the sidelines as well.
Looks like we got ourselves a little old-blooded general prodigy.
You played me.
You guys want to play another round?
Sure.
We could just kind of narrate.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, it goes back and forth. Whose intelligence is higher?
I have a +1 bonus.
I have a +1 as well.
13.
12.
Plus.
Okay, so yeah, and it goes back and forth. You guys are pretty evenly matched by the end of it. So it's not like one completely stumps the other, but the night passes with lots of drinks, lots of various games coming in and out, mostly dice or stones related, but overall a good time.
Do that drinking thing where you don't realize you're drunk until you stand up.
Yeah.
So we're playing stones and I'm just fine. I drink my pitcher of wine and then
yeah, Wraith over there got a hole in his foot or something, hole in his leg.
And then when I stand up, I stumble into the person near.
So yeah, when you stand up, you guys were close to that dice game. So when you stumble, as you had stepped on someone's foot, okay, right? That was kneeling down to dice in the corner there. That brings some angry protests, and they quickly right themselves. And did you fall, or you just?
No, I didn't fall. But yeah, I'll apologize. I must have gotten dizzy standing up real quick, and
it's the sea air. Got to adjust to it.
That's why people walk that way. That's why the sailors do that.
Yeah, that guy's a bit upset that you stepped on him.
I'll try to smooth it over on behalf.
Do diplomacy.
Ooh, 21.
Nice.
So yeah, and you offer to buy him a mug of ale, which you'll just, if you want, you can tell the innkeep, like, the swill and the
right.
pretty much right here, right?
No, I'll keep it on the up and up.
All right, so 4 copper for the ale, and I mean that smooths it over pretty nicely.
But in my fairly drunken state, I'm not going to notice any of that interaction. I'm going to be just wandering out the door.
Okay.
Falk, where are we going? Hold up, Falk.
Yeah, so what do you do when you get outside?
I'll begin trying to find my way back to the seashore.
Okay.
That's not what a drunkard does. Go try to talk to some sea folk women's.
Well, I don't realize I'm drunk. I'm thinking it's time for us to go to sleep.
So when you open the door to the inn, it's completely night outside. As you guys went in there was still some sunlight. It is now the docks are just as busy. It's very well lit. People milling around. Rafe, you pretty much like tossing some copper onto the bar and just telling the server to go or to serve it to that guy that was stepped on. But yeah, you see him making his way out, easily able to catch up though. So the city itself, like I said, very well laid out, not difficult to navigate. We will do, if you don't want to ask for directions, then I'll have you do at least one intelligence check to make it back on your own.
Well, at first I'll be trying to convince you that the night is young and there's more sights to see.
I'll say, it's dark outside, and I don't think that food worked well. I'm dizzy, and I don't.
Oh, you poor lost little lamb.
I think I just need to lay down.
It's the last thing you need to do. Makes you all sicker. Makes the room spin. Got to keep on trucking there, boyo.
The night air will clear your head. Let's just walk over this way a little bit.
Okay. You know the way back to the inn, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You take the lead. These cities, they confuse me.
As to where I'll lead us, I mean, I guess I won't know. I'll just walk along this district looking for things that catch my eye.
So yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of things. I mean, there's a lot of people, pulling things going in and out of the warehouses. There's more inns that stand out along the docks as well, and they're just as loud and would it be
raucous? Yeah,
raucous is the one you had left. Even though it's late, it hasn't diminished. The activity in the city itself is just changed from merchants and people traveling.
A fine addition to Tyr's holdings, indeed. Well, I guess if there's nothing that catches my eye, like a tattoo artist that would give us matching tattoos of the Horn of Valier, then I'll head back to
forget a piercer.
Or a piercer.
Yeah, there is someone that is offering piercings along the docks, and if you ask anybody, there is further on, there's some people that will do tattoos for you too.
I guess I'll go with the piercing route.
Okay.
Well, Falk, there's one thing that a man must do to truly call himself a man of the sea.
And what's that?
You got to get a gold ring.
I don't know if I can afford a gold ring.
I'll get it for you. Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be gold. It can just appear to be gold.
Well, okay. Will they let us sail if I don't have one?
I'm afraid not.
Do a bluff and a sense motive.
17.
Give you a +2 for him being drunk.
I didn't get anywhere near that.
Okay.
Oh man, it looks dire on his face.
Yeah, like you won't even be allowed to talk to a captain.
All right. Then I better get one.
It might be 2 in this land. I'm not sure. What is the style of Mayene? I don't know if.
They have typically. It varies. I mean, there's
maybe we'll just go with the one.
There's 1. There's 2.
Yeah.
It just varies depending on which who you see at the time. Seems like people that are have been at this a long time have multiple people that haven't been doing it very long. Only have one or two.
So I'll walk up to this spot and I'll be like, so Falk, we'll get you fitted first, and I'll be right after you.
All right, yeah. So you're directed to go ahead and sit down on this stool, and they'll get you taken care of.
Oh, weird! They can size my finger while I'm standing.
But no, I'll sit down because when you're drunk and wandering, anywhere to sit is so nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I'll happily sit down
The
and
most comfortable chair.
and
in
just
all of the-
okay.
you sit down and you start putting your hand out like they're gonna size you for a ring. Rafe has a brief discussion with the piercer.
I'll be
yeah.
counting out like coppers and silver pennies and stuff to pay for it because I figure this is part of the passage that we need to pay to get on the ship. And
All right.
Okay. Yeah. So a strong-handed woman is who's going to be doing this. She comes up and what's your charisma?
10.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, she isn't the most beautiful woman you've seen, but she's better looking than most of the serving girls you had seen in the inn.
Plus you're drunk.
Yeah, and you're drunk.
And her hands are cool when they touch you.
And they're soft, and she's just really got a really strong grip. And you notice that because she, when she puts her hand to your head, you kind of lean into it, and she grabs you pretty firmly, and then just real quick is pain through your ear.
But yeah, I'll be like, what did you do?
When you put your hand to it, you start to feel this hoop that she's now clasping in the back.
But what are you doing?
And she's tells you it's always worse the first time, but make sure you don't tug on it or play with it like that.
Best not to touch it.
I'll take my hand away.
Douse it in strong spirits once a day.
Yeah.
And I'll obey what she says. I'm like, okay, so what kind of a ring can I get?
Bloody when you take it away. You notice some blood on there. It's not like a ton of it. It's just
3 points
a little bit.
That's almost fatal to a level. Good thing we leveled up.
When you're
commoners don't get their ears pierced.
yeah. So if you ask her about rings, she tells you that she's not the Marion type.
But yeah, I'll like wipe the blood off my hand without even really thinking about it, and start like asking like what kind of rings the sailors have to get on the ships.
Yeah, she gives you
that's
some
okay,
innuendo.
mistress. You have it. You're good to go. Don't touch it, Falk. You're going to need that for passage. Just keep it right there in your ear.
And I'll say, just give it to Rafe. How much do I owe you?
No, I got it. And I will actually get my piercing as well.
Okay. Yeah, so it's not exactly the same because she's you had told her before, it's like subtly and then quickly do it. So she's takes your head in her hand, and then you see the instrument. It looks like a metal tube that she puts the hoop into the end of, and she pushes that through your ear deftly and then pulls it out the other side, and that hoop is then in your ear. She can clasp the back for you.
Okay.
But yours doesn't bleed like his does or did. It's just because she was like there.
Yeah.
Got a
So-
kit.
Yeah.
So how much do I owe a piercer?
So we'll do. Let's see. How much did you want to spend on the hoops?
I'll
She
go
has
for
any
actual
ranging in
gold if I can confirm that it is actual gold.
Yeah, I mean they're not large or
Right. anything,
but for both of you, for 2 of the hoops and the piercing itself, she'll do is 10 crowns is a gold, right? Or 10 marks is a.
Yeah.
So yeah, 1 gold total.
Okay. I'll give her that and a couple marks for the tip.
the Cordy gets 50 silver pennies, and that's like for full sets of jewelry to go with that outfit, and that's only 5 mark.
Is it?
Yeah. So they might have a really big, like, hoop in their ear.
So you just want to stage that down one?
Yeah, stage it down
a mark,
one.
And then I'll tip her.
You said it was the courtiers?
Yeah, it says in its description that you need about 50 silver pennies worth of
jewelry?
Yeah, and that's 5 marks worth.
Or I'll tip her a mark on top of that.
And, like, that's probably not, like, the most expensive, but they're just getting
a simple hoop.
Big old hoop. One mark for the total setup there for both of you.
All right, when we're all done, I'll clap Falk on the shoulder, and I'm like, not only do we now have passage on a ship, but we're brothers in the hunt for the horn. And I'll head out into the night with Falk in tow, hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll ask the kind, piercing lady if she happens to know how to get back to the seashore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she directs you. Pretty easy directions to follow. Go down, follow the dock till near its end. Before you get to the very last pier, you turn to your right, and like you're going out to the main gate, and you'll see it on your left. Can't miss it.
And once we get back, you'll want to drink plenty of liquids, so another pitcher of wine should do before you head to bed.
But I'll do that drunk person thing where, as we walk, everyone's all forget that I just got my ear pierced, and like, my ear hurts. What is this thing?
You don't want to touch that. You got to keep that on until after we get off the ship.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she had given you some instructions for cleaning it. Some very high alcohol content liquor should do the trick. But if it starts to smell funny or turn weird colors, tell them to take it out.
Oh, right. Take the ear off. Got it.
Yeah. Either one.
Cho'Gath knows how to do that.
So, all right. So, Adina, they had left. And are you going to spend some time in the common room?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, it's a pretty mixed crowd in here, between traveling merchants, lords, ladies, from smaller houses, all over the surrounding countries. There's ship captains, and everybody's just quietly talking amongst themselves. It's not the rowdy crowd from the docks there. As Cho'Gath mentions that it'd be possible to find a ship captain out here, and asks if you want him to inquire.
Perhaps we both should. You make your rounds, I'll make mine, and see what type of prices we can find.
Okay. So he'll start making his way through the crowd there and talking to various people.
So do you just want to do this in like a gather information?
Yeah, that's what I was going to have you do, is gather information check.
Yes. 27.
Okay. Yeah, so pretty quickly you're able to find a group of captains that are all sitting around, and they've come from the west, and they're talking about the recent violence on the seas to the west, as there seems to be something happening out in the Aerith Ocean that if you inquire about, they don't go into further detail. They're pretty tight-lipped about it.
I will inquire about it, but can I try to get them? What do you want?
Do your diplomacy, and there's all of them are guys, so
all right,
you can use your domani.
Damn. 15.
Okay. So 2 of them don't respond to your questioning, but there are 2 that are open to talking to you about that. Because basically what they're saying is that it's rumors for the most part. They haven't personally been out there, but the other two who weren't speaking to you are saying some crazy stories about Arthur Hawkwing's army coming back across the sea, and that the normal wars between Eridomen and Terrebonne aren't the only wars that are happening out by Toman Head, and that they're capturing ships and then letting them go. And so it's basically it's all nonsense as far as they're concerned, because they haven't actually seen it. But that's what the talk was about. And there seems to be a lot of hesitancy for any ships to go that far west right now, is the word around town.
All right. But I would like a ship that goes west, as far west as we can get.
All right. So, yeah, 3 of those merchants, one of them is going to go to Tyr. The other one isn't accepting passengers. One is going to Ilion, and the other one is going to be going upriver into Arafel. So the furthest you'd be able to get to is Ilion.
But we could also go to Arafel, and that was at southwest.
Yeah, so Tyr, Ilion, or Arafel.
I guess it's not far enough. Yeah. I'll talk to the one that's going to Ilion.
Okay. Yeah, so he is from Ilion. So you do be wanting passage on me ship? How many are there? How many of you are there, or do there be?
4 of us.
4. I guess I could make room for 4 passengers, but passage comes with a hefty price. I do no be charging me ill grandmother less than 4 crowns apiece.
Negotiation?
Yep.
Damn it. 19. I'll be angling for a crown and 5 marks per person.
Plus horses.
Aye, lass, you do be driving a hard bargain. With the horses, though, they take up so much room, me cargo. I couldn't do it for any less than 2.
Including horses?
That do be including horses.
Got yourself a deal, Captain.
Aye.
When will you be setting off?
Aye, we set off with the sun.
Your accent has infected me.
Aye, you do be making fun of me, huh, lass?
No, I do know.
Yeah, so he's more than willing to take you for two crowns apiece. Cho'Gath returns saying that he had gotten offers to be taken to Tyr and across the bay to Godan, but he couldn't find anybody going further than Ilion, and that he had heard some interesting stories about the area that we were going to. There's something about an invading army.
Yes, I heard those too.
As his voice gets low, and he says that people are saying that that the Aes Sedai are fighting with them.
That's not possible. No Aes Sedai wields the power as a weapon.
Of course. It's just
unless absolutely necessary, and I'll arch an eyebrow.
So yeah, Cho'Gath remains awake for a bit longer. Make sure that these two make it back to the inn. So when you do make it back, he lets you know that Adina has secured passage for us to Ilion, as we leave in the morning.
Did she get a sea folk ship?
No.
But Ray said that we need a sea folk ship because it's the fastest.
I don't know about sea folk ships, but we have a ship that's going to take us to Ilion in the morning.
Okay. I got my ring so I can go on the ship.
He gives you a quizzical look.
Wait, who are you? Are you talking to Cho'Gath?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm good to go on this ship, but you can get yours tomorrow.
Okay. He claps you on the shoulder and suggests that you might want to sleep it off.
Yeah.
What was he, Shinerans? Maybe he's already got one. Some of those guys, I can't remember how he described them.
Yeah,
but I know, like,
top knot. And
the soldiers had some.
yeah, like bright coats.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that you guys want to do? So this, the inn here, and when you guys came in, it was Cho'Gath and a couple people. It seemed to wind down here pretty early.
No, we're leaving tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
I'll just make sure I got the appropriate provisions.
Okay.
And get everything in order and grumble about sailing to Ilion again. Better not be a bloody Ilion or captain either. I'd trust a summer ham over Ilion or captain to sell me through the fingers of the dragon. Or
the innkeeper will get you guys situated with supplies, so they'll have them ready. I mean, you don't need much because the ship's going to provide what you do need, and then you'll be left off in a town big enough to resupply before you head out. But
I need to supply feed for the horses.
The ship will take care of that, as that's going to be part of your guys' passage fee. So, morning comes, and to your dismay, Rafe, as Dina is downstairs talking to an Ilioner about which ship is they need to go to.
Flaming summer hams walking around upright.
And sometimes her accent slips into that.
She even strokes her
she do
non-existent
be a hidden Ilioner agent. It's happening to
beard.
me.
Nah, I would never stroke my beard. I'd always finger my bare upper lip.
There you go. Yeah, so he greets Falk normally. He greets Rafe as well, but there's the underlying tone of hostility in his
Narrowing
words.
our eyes at each other.
Yeah, but he directs you to which ship is his, and tells you that we sail with the tide. We do be sailing with the tide.
Very well, Captain.
All right. So, did you guys want to do any quick thing in here before?
No, I will give Falk and Cho'Gath a list of things that they need to keep safe, because Ilioner dogs are known to rob you in the night.
We should also try to say some things that are very offensive to Ilioners. That
to him, within hearing.
Well, to Rafe.
Yeah.
They could try to get Rafe to say them.
Ilioners, they like dogs. They like to be called dogs.
Loyal.
Because of dogs' loyalty. And no, I won't say. Well, how are you reacting to your piercing?
Well,
I guess you've had a day to.
I figure I vaguely remember that I need it to get on the ship.
So, when you walk on board, are you like?
So yeah, I'll do something like that. I'll be like, yeah, I've got it. I'm not gonna make reference as to what or why, but yeah, I'll be like, I got it.
Do you do this when I'm talking to the captain?
Probably.
Yeah, I'll stare daggers at Falk until he just backs.
But I'll just say, yeah, I'm all set to get on the ship now.
Never mind him. He's touched in the head.
My sweet young niece, she do be touched too.
Light bless him and illumine them.
But yeah, I mean, in pretty short order, you guys can be on the ship, and he's barking out instructions to his crew, and your complacency with the size of this inlet is completely swept away once you pull out beyond the brakes.
Yeah. Once I get to that point where there's nothing but horizon of ocean. But I'm also going to be vomiting horribly as soon as we hit any actual waves.
That's not a bad idea. Composure checks all around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did mine. I rolled a 2. So.
Nice.
20.
Nice.
24.
Okay. Yeah, so you're the only one. Well, yeah, you're the only one. He got a 15. Yeah, he got a 15. So
you should have got his dice too.
Yeah, the thunder. You're the only one that seems to be affected by the swaying of the ship, and they're not going far out to sea. even though he doesn't believe what the stories are saying, he's not fool enough to tempt fate with that. But you keep in close, except for around Tyr. You'll skirt a little bit further. And he makes some comments about the Tyrian raiders always do be trying to steal my cargo.
Not true, Falk. The real reason is no Ilion, our dog, has the sailing chops to sail through the fingers of the dragon. You know it to be true.
Throw him over,
blinded idiot.
They seem like fast friends.
If any, I do be throwing my own grandmother overboard. She be talking to me like that.
Does your own grandmother pay you 2 crowns?
She would have paid me 4. Talking to me like that. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty uneventful voyage other than throwing up constantly. Seems to go pretty quick. If you'd like to, you can do various tasks amongst the ship, but you don't have to, right?
Guess I'll play my harp from time to time.
Okay.
Well,
How long is the trip?
The trip there. Let's see.
make a harp playing check for the entire trip, and if it sucks, I'll get
It'll
tossed overboard.
It'll be roughly 2 weeks.
Hey, you're a woman on a ship. Most ships wouldn't have even taken you.
Well, if any of the sailors gamble at night, I'll work my profession for the 2 weeks.
Yeah, go ahead and roll it.
Nice.
Oh, I just saw the Dark One's own luck happen in real time. It kind of slowly moved over to the 18.
Lord knows what you set in motion now.
Okay, so what was your roll?
My check was 26.
So you receive half of that in silver marks.
Damn.
Do I get 2? Is it 1 per week?
Yeah, roll another one.
25.
Okay, you'll get a third of that because after the first
playing.
week, yeah, after the first week, it's difficult to get many people to play.
And then by the time we get to Ilion, they're ready to kill him.
Yeah, they're ready to get their money back by any means possible or necessary.
So 21 marks.
So yeah, the
What, like a year's wage for an average?
as you arrive in the port of Ilion, and from there you're able to provision, as you guys will get there a little after the morning there, so right a couple hours before noon, and it's very easy to find somewhere to provision here. This is a massive city.
The worst city in all of the Westlands, Falk. It'll get no lower than this.
Can you smell the air? It's horrible. The sky's wrong. The clouds broil.
It doesn't look that bad. I don't know what your problem is.
We need a Borderlands around Ilion.
Ilion might as well be the blight.
A true blight, some would call it. And they'd be right.
Is there any festivals going on? Because some of those festivals get kind of racy, don't they?
I
remember
don't
those.
know if there would be any right now.
Because what was it? Domon was going through one. They were running around in skimpy outfits.
Yeah, wasn't there like the richer the patron, the less feathers, but the more elaborate the costume?
Or was that?
That was Zebudar. That
Yeah,
was in
it
book
was?
7 just now.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that was
was
the festival.
Yeah,
But I think they did have one when they were in Tanchico too. I just don't remember what it was. And when they were in Kyrian.
Yeah, there always seems to be one where
When they're in a town.
like everyone just kind of abandons
Like real life,
all.
there's always a holiday every
But,
couple of weeks.
But yeah, like in book 2, and I think it might be because the Great Hunt was called. Maybe.
Was it the Festival of the Lights?
Maybe. Yeah, there's something going on. So we might be a month early.
Yeah.
But I think the way it works is if you're a hunter, technically you're supposed to travel to the Square Talmaz or something in Ilion and swear oaths.
Yeah.
So there's probably like a constant pilgrimage of hunters.
Yeah,
You've
there
already
is
sworn,
a
right?
gathering. I mean, you've already you've already sworn your oaths, but
I probably would prod you guys to do the same.
I just figured we were working off of your license.
No, if we get the horn, we don't want to lose it on a technicality.
Well, that's why they just give it to you, because you're the only one that's sworn the oath.
They'd be like, no, you had the help of 3 unsworn hunters.
It's actually not a bad idea. That's if asked, that's why we're going.
Okay,
but
to Ilion.
Yeah. And if you were bound by the 3 oaths, then you could.
Oh no!
But you're not. So.
No, I'm going to come here and swear to be a hunter of the horn.
Yeah. What about you, Falk? Shall we go make the journey into the horrible smelling square of Tamaz?
Never a more treacherous den of villainy and scum has ever walked.
If the oath weren't so strong, it'd mean nothing in a place like that.
What is the oath?
I can't remember it.
I just know that it's really strong and binding.
Might as well just speak it to the wind.
But yeah, I'll go down and I'll take the oath with you.
It's one. I think it's engineered so that a dark friend wouldn't
be able to
take it and blow it. Like they would be able to, right? But the things you say, you're like you would use it for the light or whatever. Can't remember. Swear under the light to blow it for the light in the last battle, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
I'm just making it up.
So, yeah. So that way I wasn't breaking any of my 3 O's. I'll go and swear the Hunter of the Horn oath.
Shogoth seemed to be pretty down for hunting the horn.
Now that he's an NPC.
Yeah, well, he goes, but you are uncertain whether or not he actually swore the oaths.
Mystery abounds concerning.
I'll side-eye him for the rest of the campaign.
It looks like he may have. You can't be sure.
Still, I think 3 out of 4 will give us the horn by right, should we catch it.
Yeah, until Shogoth's master comes back. Then you'll be sure.
Then I guess provisions?
Yeah. Well, I guess we're figuring out the next leg of our journey from here.
Yeah, provisions. And maybe I'll try to find another ship. Take us further west into Ibadar.
It's the fastest way. You don't want some other hunters finding it before us, do you?
You'll have a grand time in Ibudar, Bulk.
Maybe we can find a...
I'm going to start looking for an apothecary.
Yeah, what do they call them in Ilion? Are they... Ibudar was wise ones, like the Aiel wise ones.
I don't know what they're called. Let me check.
Yeah, find one of them ladies.
Yeah. Find something to
settle your stomach.
Yeah.
Ask her for some sheep's tongue. And what was the other one? Like willow bark?
Yeah.
Whatever, 90.
Willow bark tea was always the solution.
That'll clear up your problem immediately, Bulk.
Yeah. It was like those things were miracle cures. It was everything got fixed by them.
No help. Oh, wait, there it is. Wise one will work.
Okay. But I want to kind of take the lead and ask Raph if we should go find a captain. Maybe a sea folk captain.
We could if you want.
You've been going on about these sea folk. Why do you wish to travel with them so?
Well, so far, I've helped kill a Trolloc. I've gotten to see an Ogier. I've gotten to be on the ocean, and I've seen the cities of Camelin and Tyr and now Ilion, and I want to see a sea folk. I want to be on one of their ships. We're on a grand adventure for the Horn. I make it adventurous.
I'll help you.
Trying to wonder if I should thump you on the head. I won't, but I will.
I won't.
This isn't some adventure. Be careful.
Oh, I know. That the people that those Trollocs ate.
If you keep carousing with him, you'll end up with a knife in your ribs down at the dock one night. Well,
or another hole in my ear, because I'm guessing that at some point on the trip, a sailor told me that I don't need the earring in order to be on a ship.
I was mistaken. I thought that was the way.
Seem to be mistaken a lot.
Did you talk him into gambling for the apology?
Wait, for what?
Right, he'd be like, "You got a hole in my ear over nothing." So, well, if you want an apology, and pass him the die.
I think you look rather dashing.
Well, that's why I haven't taken it out.
You do look rather dashing, like a hero of the Horn. Right out of legend.
But yeah,
So let us go find you a sea folk maiden and a ship to go along with her.
Are you guys gonna stay in town tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna we're gonna try to find a ship first. If we can't find a ship going west, then we're gonna probably stock up and have to go inland.
Yeah, there's no sea folk ships out here. There's mainly Ilianer, and then some smaller borderland ships, merchants mainly.
Sorry, Falk.
Bringing
the
in
sea
ice
folk
peppers.
know to avoid Ilianers.
I'll take Rafe aside when Falk is like being glum over the lack of sea folk ship, and I'll start asking if Falk has been acting weird, because he's been acting really, really odd lately. So I'm asking like if has he been manic or unusually cocky,
Not that I
daring,
noticed.
risk taking.
No, just a young man learning his cups.
He's acting so odd lately. All right, go find a ship. I'll help.
Not anything I'd discuss with a lady, that is.
So you want to do gather information?
Sure. Are we all going out? I guess we were in the midst of trying to find a sea folk one.
oh, God.
Are you taking the lead on this, Falk?
I better not.
Are you sure? I can.
can.
I'll aid you guys.
Sure, I'll take the lead on it.
+2 from me.
Yep.
21.
Okay, yeah. So if you're looking for specifically a sea folk ship, you'll be told by the dockmaster that there do be no sea folk in Ilion at right now. Odd this time of year. They do always be a trading.
You should just accuse him of lying.
Liar! Well, I've been fist fighting my whole way to ask this guy. They're like, bloody
Punching
Terran!
random.
That's probably why I took the lead in this, is he can't stop telling everyone that they're Ilianer dogs. Either that or people just won't speak to
I'm
him.
like a scared cat the whole way. They're just like yowling and
You're like a long-tailed cat in a
Yeah.
room full of rocking chairs, right?
But yeah, I'll say, well, we need to go west. Are there any ships heading west?
He tells you that he'll inquire to the captains that he knows trade west.
Okay. And like seeing these people like give coins and stuff for favors, I'll pull out a silver mark and hand it to him.
I do be thanking you, my lord.
Oh, Lord, like that.
You gotta get him cocky real quick.
Uh,
All right. He's gonna ask what inn you guys are staying at.
We haven't found an inn yet, sir.
Oh, then you do be wanting to go to.
the Terran trickster.
I like it.
Sure. You do be wanting to find the Terran trickster. Looks like
Okay.
you already got one. He directs you to an inn that'll be fairly close to the square where you guys are taking your oaths.
The tipsy Terran,
It's pretty good.
implying that they're all drunkards.
And of course, the picture on the sign would have to be something horribly.
Some
Well, it's-
wayside, wandering-eyed Terran.
Exactly. And he looks like
Twirling a mustache.
yeah, the village idiot in king's clothing. That's swindling a poor grandma out of her out of the deed to her farm.
They got the likeness very close.
What? Oh.
If you'd like to, the innkeeper
dirty
can gather the supplies that you guys would need.
He can?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
as though they have some supplies on hand, and then
Yeah, that's something I should get in the habit of doing, actually, because you can always hire people to get things for you.
yeah. So just figure out what you would need.
Depends on the journey, though.
Yeah, as you need to get water, really, no matter where, right? So water skins would probably be a good idea, at least the skins. What else were you guys short on?
Couple rations.
Yeah, I mean, I'd do
beef
any of
or
your
lamb.
normal stock that you guys would have on you.
Although depending on whether or not we get on the ship or not, I figure the ship would probably have all the rations and stuff we would need.
So I guess what we were saying...
I'd wait until we know whether or not we have
wait.
a ship on whether or not we stock up.
I guess I'll put... How rough... Is this a good inn?
Yeah. It's, I would say a fair inn.
Is it
right?
fairly close to the dock?
No, it's a little ways in.
All right, so if I want to find a ship captain, I might have to...
Yeah.
All right, so I'll maybe hit up a fairly decent inn or a common room a little closer to the docks and see if I can find some ship captains sailing west.
Yeah, I mean, there's some here. Well, I guess roll your gather information and yeah.
13.
Okay, yeah. So
wait, no, that's actually a lie. That was my diplomacy. Sorry, it'd be a 10.
All right. Yeah, there aren't any captains that are selling to the west in this inn.
Okay.
And I mean the ones that are staying in the inn, obviously they're not from here, so they can't recommend anybody. The dockmaster had offered to try and find someone for you guys from guys that people that he knows go west.
Yeah, I'm just trying to speed things up.
Well, you can go down to the docks and the inns down there if you'd like to.
All right. Bit better. 18.
You're not finding anybody in the first inn that you go to. I'll have you do an overall roll on this next one. What was the roll?
13.
Okay. Yeah, you're having a difficult have anybody going west. Most seem to be either going up to Camelin or Tarvalon, and then the Borderlands right now, as ice peppers are a big draw at this time.
Was that Celdine?
Yeah.
Getting close, right?
So it looks like maybe the best bet is to go upriver and then across land.
Yeah, maybe maybe I'll see if, I don't know, we might want to see if the dock captain or whatever, the harbor master
comes back with something.
We also could go overland across the south, and his distance isn't too much different. The difference would just be going north.
Yeah, well, like time maybe.
Yeah.
And it would probably cost us more money in the long run, having to restock every so many days and stuff.
I guess it kind of depends on how much the ship would cost too.
Yeah, they're not leaving for a couple days, so you guys got a little bit of time to see if you could find a different one. See if the dockmaster can get you something. But let's see, what was that? The inn itself. Are you guys gonna do the 2 rooms again?
Yes, but I'm going to try to go a bit cheaper than last time.
Yeah, there's an obvious difference in the quality of inn this is as well. Does anybody know what page the items were on?
125, maybe 124.
Okay.
Food, drink, and lodging.
Yeah. So this will be 5 silver pieces per day.
All right, I'll pay.
Okay.
Is that for just her room, or?
Yeah, well, that would be per room.
Okay, I'll pay the 5 for the other.
No,
Okay.
I got it.
Okay.
All right. So the first day, no word comes from the dockmaster. The second day, around lunchtime, as you're approached by a handsome, well-dressed man, middle-aged. He's got light brown hair. It's begun to gray at his temples. Bushy walrus-like mustache and a pale complexion. And it's even paler on the lower half of his face. He wears loose-fitting trousers and a shirt and has a crimson thigh-length satin coat with embroidered golden scrollwork adorning its shoulders, cuffs and pockets. He walks with a slight limp as if his right leg pains him. As he's approaching your guys' table there. So he introduces himself as Elbrith Hadar? Yeah, Elbrith Hadar. And says that he's seeking capable warriors with stout hearts and strong blades for a trip to Lugard in Morandi. So he offers food and also 25 marks per week as pay, and he'll even pay 1/2 of the first week in advance.
Well, it is the right direction.
Well, none of us are warriors, and I won't look at Shogoth.
Yeah, he's like
Shogoth
looking
and I are
right
warriors.
at Shogoth. But this guy here is...
There's him, and then there's us.
But what if I hire him and you are a package deal?
When we put our 3 heads together, I'd be like, listen, the only person he's hiring is Shogoth, but we each get a free 25 marks a week just to ride along.
And food.
And food.
It does seem to sort of be like a merchant guard, or what? What's he actually asking for?
He's asking for escorts to help him go to Lugard. He explains that he's no armsman, and the roadways in Morandi are filled with dangers, and ruffians, and scoundrels, and other hazards. But he's not able to protect his merchandise alone. And you all seem capable, especially the Borderlander.
I'll say if it's that dangerous on the roads, maybe we should wait for a ship.
Yes, but if one doesn't come, then we'll be on the roads anyways.
Yeah.
But maybe we can convince him to wait a few days.
He's, from the looks of him, he's a Terraboner.
You could use that ship line to negotiate for a higher price.
What ship line?
But
yeah.
It's safer to go by ship.
It's safer to go by ship, and we already have one lined out the direction we're traveling. Maybe for a bit more coin, we might reconsider.
Aid on the diplomacy?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do your diplomacy.
All right, I'll aid.
Not too bad.
Nice.
So I get +2 from you.
Yeah.
What was it?
It was 16.
So 19 was my roll.
30. I would have had a 30 if he aided me. I had a 31.
All right.
Always let the Domini woman barter.
No way.
He
I
will
was distracting him or something.
He will give you an extra 5 marks per week.
30 per week, and how long of a travel is it up to Lugard?
It will take you. Let's see. I wish they had some of that in here.
The overland movement.
Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah. What page is that? Looks like page 170 has terrain and overland movement.
Okay.
I don't think it has any kind of mileage.
You have, let's see.
If he's a merchant, he'd probably have a
Cart.
Have a cart, yeah.
Heavy horse, maybe.
So the Silver Road and the Lugar Road.
Would you do 24 hours or like 16 to 24 miles a day?
Yeah.
The Lugar Road is to Camelin.
Dang. An Alpha Mere Raker can go 120 miles a day.
Cheating.
Yeah.
Can I see the book real quick?
I would still be into New York in 25 days.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, one time for just because I went looking, try to find the cheapest way to get to Australia by boat.
So it'll take about with the cart. It'll take about 2 weeks, 2 weeks and a couple days to get there. If this map is to be believed.
And where exactly is Luger?
It's south of Andor, or it might be part of Andor, right?
So we'd
That's
almost make it back
in
to where
Mirandy. Or Murandy.
we might be able to find a ship there.
Camelin, Lugard, Ilion, Sugo.
It's a little closer west to where we need to be than Camelin was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might be able to find a boat there heading west.
This is the Silver Road, as you guys will go out it, and up into Lugard. Or up into Mirandy and then Lugard.
What do you think, Falk?
That's a lot of money.
To earn.
Yeah.
Don't have to get on a ship again.
I like that idea.
Well, I don't much like kicking my heels in Ilion any longer than I need to, so.
Besides, we can look for the horn on our way.
Right, you are not likely to
You
find
can't
it in
find
some
the Horn of Valir
bloody Ilion or
on
hold,
a ship.
that's for sure.
Or do you want me to do the Ogier voice for that?
You could.
Rafe, you can't find the Horn of Valir on an Ilianer ship.
Well, I agree to that course. That's my vote.
Do that?
I agree.
So, seeing you agree, Adina Cho'Gath will agree to that as well. So, all right, he tells you that he has provisions already, as he's just looking for somebody to hire, and that we'll start out straight away, and then that's where we'll end for today.
This has been a Death Watch production. Thank you for listening.